Toon Adventures was never without depth. Even at its funniest, it still took us to the edge. The two stories that we'll be covering in this episode deal with depression, rejection, and even attempted suicide.
Whoa, you're not gonna sugarcoat that at all, are you?
Well, we really shouldn't. This is a real problem. And Tiny Toons handled it absolutely perfectly. So sit back as we rewind, relive, and reflect on the unbelievably dark way that Tiny Toons ended.
Let's go back in time, we can just hit rewind. What a terrific notion, it's cartoon commotion.
As per usual, we're gonna flip the script. No wait, let's flip the switch.
Oh, so you were talking dark like literally.
No, not really, no. Whoever just did that, turn the light back on, we've got a show to do. Oh. Yeah, buddy, I know that it's a metaphor, but we've got to keep it rolling. Plus, I'm getting kind of nervous. I can't tell if those are shadows of the furniture or hungry zombies ready to eat my brain. Finally.
Dude, I gotta ask you, is this serious or not?
Oh yeah, totally, very serious.
So, there's dark themes in Tiny Toon Adventures?
Always has been, dude. Always has been. Let's rewind to the first of two insanely major events in the lives of Buster and Babs Bunny. It's surprising how similar these episodes are, even though they tell entirely different stories. Both feature one of the two ultra depressed and making choices that they regret. And both feature a teacher-type character stepping in to help set things right. This first story happens in episode 6, Her Wacky Highness. Babs Bunny was experiencing major levels of rejection as her character is a performer and impressionist. While she was fully expressing her talents, she might have gone a bit overboard in her behavior at school. She was sent home early with a note from her freaky principal. Her mother was siding with the school, telling her that she needed to learn some self-control. Babs was not having it.
No one appreciates me.
And with that, she felt rejected, striking out on her own like a rebel. Like,
I am out of here, dudes. Ain't nobody around here appreciates my mad talent.
And why not run away too?
the Wacky Land TV ad and the guidance of the most mentally together toon in the series, Go-Go Dodo, got her to beat feet for a whole new life.
Oh, that whack job is out of his mind. Why would she listen to him?
Yeah, he's a Mondo Major lunatic dude, but in this case, he was incredibly helpful.
Yeah! I'll run away to Wacky Land!
Good idea! They'll appreciate you there. They will.
He's the one who extended the invite to Wacky Land, and judging by the end of the episode, he never really expected her to stay with them there. It's the typical magical land trope, but it works so well. What? Jiggy Bud, I'm ultra shocked that you forgot about this part. Don't you remember the magical land trope? Yes, it is sometimes referred to as the Land of the Dead, but that's a bit too dark for me. Dude, I am not joking. Turn the lights back on already. Thank you. Right, where was I? Oh yeah, the magical land. That's a trope that's often used to show people a beautiful life lesson, a lesson about their lives that they couldn't reflect on if they were in their regular everyday world. The main character will travel or be sent off to a magical land like the Land of Oz or Wonderland or something like that. Hey, you know what? Thinking back, Oz was referenced with that huge green-headed principal of Acme University. That is such a neato callback. Anywho's it, within this land, the main character experiences a bunch of freaky stuff that they wish that they could forget, and then they return a changed person, or at least a learned person. Obviously, Babs was supposed to figure out the art of self-control because in Wacky Land, they have everything but self-control. In fact, self-control is a crime in Wacky Land, apparently punishable by death, and probably one of the only rules that they ever mention. This is where we can be sure that Go-Go Dodo is a teacher character because he helped her and her friends get back home. I'm not so sure that he was ever really even advertising Wacky Land. Go-Go has a presence that's felt all over Tiny Toon Adventures, cause he doesn't operate like any other character bound by the rules or restrictions of reality. He can go and do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, wherever he wants. This is the key to understanding the message of this story, homie. Go-Go's place was as a teacher character, allowing her to get what she thought she wanted, an escape from the restrictions of her life, so that she could learn that it really wasn't what she needed. What she needed was a different perspective of her own behavior.
Look, you're all a lot of laughs, but you have to learn some self-control.
Go-Go steps in as the character who guides her out of the frame of mind that she's chosen in this situation. Exactamundo, Jiggy Bud. We can't forget that while she felt completely rejected, she chose to believe a lie there too. Cause throughout the whole adventure, her trio of best friends, Buster, Hampton, and Plucky Duck, were seeking her out to bring her back home.
Buster, I have run away to Wacky Land. It was the only mature thing to do. We've got to find her.
The three of them risked their safe normalcy to be there for her when she needed them most. It just goes to show you that we can sometimes believe a lie. Remember, just because you think something doesn't mean that it's true. You're not alone, and there are people who would miss you if you were gone.
That's almost exactly like what Babs said in the final episode.
And if you ever feel like a loser again, Buster Bunny, remember...
Hold up a second there, homie. I was just getting to that. Absolutely radalicious transition music, buddy. If only such bodacious banjo playing wasn't met with an even darker story. Dude, quit messing with the light switch. It's getting old. Ah, there we go. Now, as I was saying, the final Tiny Toons episode said a whole lot, but it showed us even more. With a finale that took a sharp left turn, causing us to mentally crash into unexpected emotions. This was a Christmas special, a parody of It's a Wonderful Life, themed around the idea of I wish I was never born and then seeing how terrible the world would be without you in it. This is always the same story, but it changes depending on the world that it's set within. In this case, Tiny Toons almost had Buster Bunny jumping out of his cartoon. He believed that he had failed as a director of their Christmas special, and more importantly, as a main character of the Tiny Toon Adventures series. It seemed that everyone was getting on his case about things not going right. Sidekicks and supporting characters kept messing up things in the play tremendously, and then blaming him for not getting the whole act together. Then the evil rich brat Monty took over the whole play. The ordeal drove him to the edge, causing him to rethink his entire existence. That escalated quickly. Seriously, intense depression took hold of his thoughts and brought him to a horrible decision: contemplating suicide. Well, of course he didn't actually jump out of the cartoon. I mean, he almost did, but he didn't. He's A-okay, folks, thanks to the intervention of his guardian Toon Angel. But take a second here to just consider the notion, the very idea that this event went to that level of darkness. Dude, if you touch that light switch one more time, I'm gonna break your fingers. All 28 of them. Whew, thank you. It can be really easy for us to slip into dark places where our minds believe things that just aren't true. This was a sincere message to us, the audience. Buster forgot the ones that he loves and the good that he does, when he became absolutely consumed by his failure. Of course, with the help of his guardian angel, he gets to see what Tiny Toon Adventures would be like if he was never a character in the series. In short, Monty ruled over their world and Plucky Duck ran the show, making it an overwhelmingly vapid and boring and torturing experience, especially for Babs.
I hate my life.
Buster not only got to see how much he meant and contributed to the series, but he also got to see how much he brought into Babs' life, how they were drawn for each other, literally.
Wish I had a co-star who cared about me. Hi, do I know you from somewhere?
What a spectacular way to bring a series to a conclusion, remembering that it wasn't all for nothing, showing how much one life can make a difference in the world, and how much you matter to people around you. I'm tearing up just thinking about it, man. It's so beautiful. I know that it's a parody, but even though it's funny, it's just so darn perfect, going out on the best note possible.
Yeah, say, Buster, you really have had a wonderful cartoon show.
I mean, think about this. Because it was the final episode, this might as well have been saying that the whole series was worth it. It was all wonderful. It brought back the classics, it honored their legacy, and it told original stories with characters that develop, like Buster and Babs Bunny. They didn't stay entirely the same from the beginning to the end of the series. They grew and they learned together. This statement was all-encompassing of that entire idea. And then there's Babs' final words in the ending. Those were such a heartwarming reminder, not just for Buster, but for every single one of us watching, that every life has value. And if yours were to come to an end, it wouldn't just be you that's affected, but everyone that your life touches.
And if you ever feel like a loser again, Buster Bunny, remember,
No Toon is a failure who has friends.
No Toon is a failure who has friends. This was the very last and most important message the series ever told us. Both of their stories bring them through challenging mindsets to overcome. Babs, feeling rejected, almost gave up on her whole life for a world that didn't know her or love her like the friends that went after her to bring her home. And Buster, rejected, dejected, wishing to be ejected. He was stuck in the funk of failure, not capable of seeing his own personal value. Homie, your life matters, and it's what you make it. No Toon or person is a failure who has friends, and you for sure have friends here on Cartoon Commotion. Seriously, who keeps doing that? This was like a culmination moment. Sheesh! In case you didn't already know it, homie, I'm Cade, your favorite cartoon weirdo, and that's Jiggy, the pig that digs the jig. Here on Cartoon Commotion, we rewind, relive, and reflect on the nostalgic tunes of the 80s and 90s for value in your life today. Hope to see you around.